Good morning and welcome back to another weekly vlog. It is actually Tuesday. I did not get the vlog kicked off yesterday. I am in like the final stages. The Goals with Laken planner is almost done. Like all of the updates have been made, but now I'm in the process of like creating all the PDFs and all the versions and all the appendices, which is a lot because I offer 4 versions of the Goals with Laken planner. And when you purchase it, you get all the versions. There's a Monday start and a Sunday start, and then there's a progress box and a progress bar. And so for every planner, like, you know, I have to do all the quarters and all the it's just a lot. It's a lot of pages. And so just the process of like creating all the PDFs and everything takes forever. So that was most of what I focused on yesterday. And then I'm hoping to get it done today. I actually got up early and like sat here at the kitchen table because Sam was still asleep and that my desk is in our bedroom, and made a pretty good amount of progress, but I'm not quite done yet. I am still like in comfy clothes. It is pouring. It's not pouring, it's raining. It's raining pretty hard outside. And so my mom came and picked up my daughter and took her to school today, to daycare. I feel like I can't get out of that habit. It is daycare. She's 2. I'm aware. It's not school yet. But I call it school in front of her, and I just feel like that's helpful because that's what she's gonna do forever. So I feel like I get into this habit of calling it school, and then people are like, she doesn't actually go to school. I'm like, I get it. Anyway, I think my computer has a little bit of life left in it, so I think I'm just gonna stay here at the kitchen table and power through until either I finish the planner or my computer dies, whichever happens first. But I wanted to go ahead and get this vlog kicked off. My mom literally just picked up Lila, and so I was like, I'm gonna get this vlog kicked off so that it's going, and I can bring up other things that happened today. All right, it is about 10 o'clock, just after 10 o'clock, and I finished up the planner, all the different versions of it. I guess, sorry, you're staring at this food while I'm telling you this. One of the things I did this year that I didn't do in years past is I'm also going ahead and doing all the quarter versions of next year's and having them ready to go to launch so that I don't have to worry about that next year. So it took a little more time, but it's done. And it is perfect timing because I'm gonna get dinner in the Crockpot. I had already planned to make this meal this week, and the weather outside, it is literally just the perfect pairing for this meal. It is just a beef stew. I will link the recipe that I follow down below. It is from a YouTube channel I've mentioned a ton. Julia, I don't know how to say her last name, but I love her recipes. So that's the one that I follow. We do omit the tomato sauce because we don't do tomatoes in our house. And so I will do a little bit more of the Worcestershire sauce, and otherwise I feel like it's just as good. So it's not that simple. The hardest part is cutting up the potatoes and then whether or not I decide to peel them. I don't like potato skins. Sam actually doesn't really love potatoes. It's not his favorite, but I love this meal. And he likes this meal too. He just doesn't necessarily love regular white potatoes, but he does prefer potato skins. So I do tend to leave the skins on, but then I do try to peel the carrots, which does add a little bit of extra time. Sometimes if I'm on top of it and I'm thinking ahead, I will do the like vegetable cutting prep of this meal while Lila's having breakfast, because I can just stand at the island and cut those vegetables while she is eating, and it just works really well. But to be honest, my brain just like wasn't turned on this morning, I guess. So I wasn't even thinking about it, which is fine. I'll just do it now, turn on my audiobook or a YouTube video and get to work. The other step that I sometimes skip in this recipe, which I can actually put the olive oil that I had out away, and that is cooking the stew meat before you actually put it in the crock pot. I understand the benefit, like searing it adds in the juices, it probably adds more flavor, all those things, but like, honestly, that's another dish, it's another step, and yes, I think it helps, but also I don't think it's that big of a deal. All right, it is lunchtime. It's almost time for the weekly community call, which is at noon. And I have found that I need to eat before that, because if I wait until it's happening, I will typically get nauseous. And so even if I'm not like super hungry before that, I have to make my lunch and eat before that. And one of my go-tos, either when we don't have leftovers, which we do, or they don't sound good on my pregnant stomach, which they don't, what I made last night, which was delicious, is just not, it doesn't sound good right now. But so this is one of my go-tos, which is breakfast tacos. So it is just eggs, cheese, and then I've been using these breakfast sausage patties. I'm pretty sure they're chicken, and the word chicken got ripped off. Yeah, they're chicken at the top there. These are from Trader Joe's, and then the hash browns from Trader Joe's. I actually used the last one in my meal here, so I just pulled out the backup that we had, which I showed in last week's vlog in a grocery haul. But delicious, so good. And I'm also gonna take my nail polish upstairs with me. I actually keep it, this is gonna sound so funny, but I store my nail polish in the powder bath downstairs, like in the cabinet, because we have a huge cabinet that like there's nothing to put in there with the exception of extra toilet paper and then extra hand towels, like the clean hand towels. Nothing else lives in that cabinet. And so that's where I store it, because most of the time when I paint my nails, I do it at the dining room table downstairs. And because I usually try to do it like not during a work day, like not while Lila is like I have childcare. I usually try to do it during one of her naps or when she's asleep on like a Thursday, Friday, or the weekend. And that was my plan. I took my nail polish off over the weekend, and I was gonna wait until like the last possible second before I have a trip this weekend to paint them. But then I realized that the next step in the planner launch is filming the flip through of the planner video, and I want my nails painted for that video. So I'm gonna paint them today. I'm gonna start the process, like all the cleaning and the filing and all that kind of stuff during the working time of the Goals with Laken call. Every week during the coaching call, we spend 30 minutes working on our goals, and I usually do work during that time, but I'm also available in the chat if anybody needs me. But I'm gonna bring this upstairs with me and get started on my nails during that call, and then probably just finish it afterwards. We'll see how it goes. But I'm gonna go ahead and take it upstairs with me now. I feel like I've shown this container before. I love it. I got it as a Christmas gift. I used to have a smaller one that didn't fit as much, and I didn't like it because then I had to have like 2 different things. This holds everything I use related to my nail polish. So in the top, it's got like all the stuff, remover and all this kind of extra stuff. And then in the bottom, it stores all the colors. All my nail polish is a brand called Dazzle Dry, which I have mentioned a million times before, so I won't go into it here. I will link it down below if you're interested in checking it out. It's a referral code. I think you get a discount and I get a credit back to my account, which I clearly will spend. All right, it's a couple hours later. The community call is done. It was great. We had a great topic discussion on routines. I started painting my nails during the call, and then I just finished painting them after the call. Of course, because I'm going to the Longhorn game this weekend with my dad, this is called, I don't actually know if I know how to pronounce that word properly, but there's the name of it from Dazzle Dry. It's like a sparkly burnt orange. Now, they have recently released a like solid color burnt orange that I absolutely want. But my friend and I, who I typically order Dazzle Dry with, are trying to hang on for a sale. I don't know if we're going to make it all the way to Black Friday, but it's possible. But that's definitely on my list for what I want when we do order is I like the shiny sparkly one, don't get me wrong, but I also want the not sparkly one. But that's the color I went with. And now I am wrapping up. I got next week's videos. I'm not going to show you my computer because it's like, it never shows up well on camera, but I guess I can flip you around. I am still in the same comfy clothes. I had every intention. I stayed in my comfy clothes to work. And then because I knew I wasn't the one taking Lila to daycare, it has stopped raining. So I am going to go pick her up eventually. So I will have to put on real clothes. But I was also going to put on real clothes and work out. That might not end up happening today, which is fine. I am uploading now the Instagram story clips for when I post about new YouTube videos on Instagram. And then we'll check that off. And then the only thing left on my list today is to edit the podcast that I have with my sister. It's probably my least favorite thing I do every week. I love having a podcast with my sister. It's so fun. It is just for fun, and it is a hobby. In fact, it costs money. It doesn't actually make us money. We've been sent a handful of products to try, but it doesn't make any money. For my YouTube channel, I can justify having an editor because it is part of my business. The podcast is not. And so I edit all the episodes myself, and I don't enjoy it. And so it is something I consistently procrastinate, but I really need to get to it today. So I think I'm going to take a quick break, get up from my desk and go do my one household thing I try to do on Tuesdays, which is clean Lila's room. That's a thing that is easier to do when she is at daycare all day. So I will go check that off, get up for a little bit, move around, get my blood pumping. And then what I may do is make myself a second cup of half calf coffee to inspire me to edit the pod. And also because we have Dancing with the Stars tonight. It's actually Disney night. I'm so excited. And so I'm going to be up a little bit past my bedtime anyways. I know some of you are probably wait, doesn't it? Yes, it ends at 9 p.m. Central. I am usually turning the lights off, falling asleep. By that point, right now, not my mom and sisters are leaving my house and I still need to get ready for bed and stuff. Every single week I tell myself during the commercials, do your PM routine. Lila's awake for the first part of it and she loves the dancing show. And so that is super fun. But then once Lila goes to bed, every week I'm like, during the commercials, I'm going to work on my PM routine. And every week I just sit on the couch and scroll my phone. We'll see. And then my mom and sisters leave at 9 and I'm like, okay, now I have to do my evening routine and I'm just tapped. But because will be up a little bit later than normal, I feel like I can justify the half calf. Okay, Lila's room's all clean. I have another thing to procrastinate, editing the podcast. That was on my list for at some point today, or really it was on my list last week and it didn't happen because I mentioned it in last week's vlog, and that is updating these wall calendars. So you may recognize these from, I got these in my office, that's actually not even it, in the section of the apartment that had my desk many apartments ago. It was our 1 bedroom in New York City. So it was a long time ago. And I had 3. And then I have hung them up in my office ever since. Well, now I don't really have an office. I have a desk in our bedroom, and I don't feel like I need, while I am in that office space, that desk space, I don't need to look at them all the time. So they have since moved into the kitchen, and we only have 2 hanging at any given time in the kitchen. I feel like we don't need the 3rd month even. So I just have 2. I actually have no idea what I did with the 3rd one. Did I keep it? Did I get rid of it? I don't know. But basically what I do is every month I take off the one that's over and I move this one over. There's no way I'm going to be able to do this with one hand. And then I update that one to have the next month. Some months, if I'm feeling extra perfectionist, to be totally honest with you, I will erase the entire month that is already planned and redo it. That is so unnecessary, but sometimes I do. I definitely am not doing that for October because A, look at all this stuff. October is chaos, and B, even though I am procrastinating, I don't need to take the time to do that today. But these are all the things we have going on in October, which is a lot. Here's where we are right now on October 7th. There's just a lot going on. This we use for things that are out of the ordinary. So things that happen regularly don't go on here. And then also these are only things that impact both of us. So either we're both involved, like we had friends over for dinner Friday night, we went to a friend's for dinner Sunday night, like those kinds of things, or it impacts the other one from a childcare standpoint, right? Like I have my call Wednesday tomorrow night, so Sam is on Lila duty, Sam has a show Thursday night, blah, blah, blah. So if it's regularly scheduled or it doesn't impact the other one, like my calls during the day don't impact Sam, or Lila's, swim classes don't impact Sam, so I don't put those on there anymore. So anyway. Hello, it is Wednesday. I am sitting down, I'm getting my camera all set up to film the goal planner video, which will be up by the time this vlog goes up. Even though the vlog turnaround has gotten so much shorter, this video is still gonna be a shorter turnaround because the planner launch is 1 week from today. So the planner will have already launched. That planner flip through video will be up. If you're interested in seeing more about the Goals with Laken planner, obviously it's not going anywhere. Like the full year version is available. If you're a community member, you do have a coupon code that will expire from the day this video goes up, a couple of days left of that coupon code, but for everybody else, the planner will just exist. The reason I clicked for a vlog and not starting the planner video is I finished a book this morning, and if you watched last week's vlog, I talked about, was that last week or the week before last? I don't remember. You see, that's the other thing. I was like, if I have a quicker vlog turnaround, I will be able to remember what vlog I talked about it in, and I still can't. Anyways, I let my reading goal go out the window. It doesn't mean that I'm not reading. It doesn't mean that reading is not still important to me, but I'm not tracking it as a goal anymore. So I just thought I would update you because I finished a book this morning. So on the fiction side, and yes, I still, whatever reason my brain cannot, I mess up fiction and nonfiction all the time. And I always get called out for it. Like, I don't know why my brain can't keep those straight. That was a problem like before I even was pregnant or had kids. So fiction wise, I'm rereading Throne of Glass. It is the perfect thing for me right now because I'm excited to read it. It didn't take long to get into because I know all the characters, I know the basic plot, but it's also like not so exciting that I'm able to put it down and fall asleep when I need to. And so I am on book 4 of the series now, chugging through it. It's just been so good. And then for nonfiction, I was rereading / listening to Expecting Better, the pregnancy book, and I finished that this morning. So now I get to move on to a nonfiction that I finished Expecting Better a week ago. I just finished Crib Sheets this morning, which is her second book. So now I'm like, what do I read? I have so many choices. And so I am gonna go back to my notes app that I made at the beginning of the year of like the nonfiction books that I did want to read. And obviously by the time this vlog goes up, I will have already picked one. But I would love if you read any really great, either one, actually fiction or nonfiction, but especially any like nonfiction, personal development or goal specific books. Some of the options I have less left. Some of them are like very kid focused. Some of them are very business focused. I kind of need to decide once like where I want to go with this, but I may just go, there's like 6 left on this list. So I may go like read the synopsis again and then pick from there. But for now, it's time to film. Okay, since I have the camera in top-down mode to film the planner video, I wanted to share something with you. This is a journal product. Don't let dreams die. There it is, the bucket list journal. So Sam, let me rewind. When we were in Disney, it is part conference for my husband. You have to qualify for it by hitting a certain like production level. Like you have to be at a certain place in your business to qualify. And then it is part sessions, like conference sessions, and part fun stuff. Most of the sessions are from people that work in the business, right? But then they always have some sort of guest speaker. And it's usually some sort of author. And usually it comes with a book. And it's usually somebody pretty cool, and we usually end up with a pretty cool book. This year, we ended up with a journal, which Sam grabbed an extra one for me, which is so sweet. I don't know if he got it from somebody. I don't know where it came from, but he got one for me as well. And I did briefly flip through his, but I wanted to like actually go through all of it with you guys. So on the inside, it says, "A year from now, you'll be glad you started today." That's cute. The guy who created it is the guy who Sam heard speak, which he was very, very inspired by. And then, oh, today is a great day to start dreaming again. That's so cute. Okay, so it is your classic, let me zoom you in a little bit here, journal. It's like a, you know, like an A5 size basically journal, and it is bound, which y'all know I much prefer a coil journal, but it is pretty. It's kind of this like, it's almost green. Like I think it's definitely a gray that leans green, like a greenish gray. Impossible is possible. Oh, that's really cool. That's like what's on the inside. And then let's see here. The pages are a little bit like yellower. I don't know if that's picking up on camera, but you can probably see a little bit the color difference between like the actual pages and then my white, like very white desk. So it's got some like things to remember, what to fill out at the beginning, the purpose of this journal, blah, 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 kind of why he created it, why we don't make these lists. Interesting. And then, oh, y'all know I love a journal that's gonna start with your wins, starting with your accomplishments. Yes, please, I love that. Okay, so you write your list in 10 categories, write your full list, share your list, and then start a before and after page to help you stay on track. So it sounds like you start by going through these 10 categories and making lists. You know, the concept, right, is a bucket list. I feel like this is just a different way of saying like goal ideas, right? Bucket list, goal ideas. I feel like whatever your brain operates in, I feel like a lot of people, you know, probably relate to the concept of a bucket list, whereas like here in our world, we probably just talk about goals, goal ideas, but it's got 10 categories of life to help you brainstorm in. So travel and adventure, physical health, material, creative, professional, financial, intellectual, mental health, relationships, and giving. I love it. I think that's really cool. So then he encourages you to take those items and transfer them to your full list. And there's space for 100. This is obviously like your lifetime, right? Not like one calendar year. And then you're supposed to share your list with somebody. Okay, and then it's got these pages with like all these little doodles. I feel like this doesn't fit in with the earlier pages. Like all these pages have been very like streamlined and simple, and like, you know, this is very like, I don't know, the doodles are interesting. Before I die, and that, I get that's the concept of a bucket list, but it's a little morbid for my brain. And then accountability buddies. And so I guess you have different buddies for different ones. I don't know. Okay, those pages I don't really get. Then you have these before and after pages for each item. So I think, yeah, it's just 2 pages per item. So you start like before you start doing it, and then at the end. So what this is missing, it's a really cool concept. This is a really cool concept. I think it's really cool to like get your ideas of like things you might want to achieve in life out on paper. I think there's two things so far that I'm struggling with. Number one is in this beautiful journal, if I write down these 100 things, all of a sudden I feel totally tied to them. Like I have to do them. And now that might be a good thing, I guess, if it's something I want. But like in this beautiful journal, what if I change my mind? I feel like a lot of us would feel uncomfortable just like crossing it off. So I don't know. That's a little bit like concrete for me. Number two is it doesn't have this in between, right? It has 3 things I can do in the next 48 hours, but some of these things are probably going to take like years, maybe even decades, right? How do you do the in between? Like there's no guidance on how to actually get there. It has right here, list your action items, I guess. But again, some of these things like on these ideas are huge, right? Like run a marathon, like, okay, there's a lot in between there for you to accomplish running a marathon. But so then it looks like, and it's got a little ribbon in here as well. And it's got like motivational quotes sprinkled throughout, which, you know, I love me a motivational quote, but it's got enough of these. I'm assuming, I'm not going to count them. I am assuming that there are 100 of these, one for each of your list items. And then when we get to the back, this is your space to write down any extra thoughts running around, clear your mind, help you move towards your goals. Okay, and then there's just a bunch of blank journal pages in the back. And more quotes, a little note from him. Oh, there's more. For more support, you can scan. I wonder where that takes you to, something else that he probably provides. And that's it. I mean, it's cool. It's really cool. And I think for some people, like my husband is a great example, the concept of like goals and like the goals with Laken planner feels like that's too much, right? There's like, I'm really focused on my goals. Like I'm thinking about my goals every single day. And then these are probably things that you're maybe not necessarily thinking about every single day, but it's probably, it's a step towards that, right? It's a step towards the right direction. So I do really like this. I think it's cool. Maybe someday I'll fill it out. Sam's really excited about his. So I'm excited to see what some of the things are that he writes down. But I thought I would just share that with you. This could be a fun gift idea for somebody. I don't know if it could also be a really great fit for you. Maybe you're like really, really into this. But again, I think what we have to remember is like the in between here between this section and like actually accomplishing those goals. Hello. It is much later in the day. I got a lot of work done. Another week. Y'all, we're having good weeks. There's another week where I checked off everything that was on my list. I have one more thing. We have a call tonight. So I need to get that call, like I need to execute it and then get the recording up for everybody. We're having a book club call tonight, which I'm really excited about. We're talking about The Lazy Genius, which is one of my all-time favorite goal-related books. But other than that, I got all my work done this week again, which it feels really, really good. So I have about an hour to myself. It's like 5:30 right now. I went and got Lila from school, and then my mom and stepdad came and picked her up. They are leaving tomorrow to go to Italy for 2 weeks. They're gonna be gone for a long time. Sorry if you can hear, Sam just turned on the TV downstairs. I'm a little nervous. Like they're a big part of our support system, and so them being gone is gonna definitely, I think, impact our productivity a little bit. But they're going. My youngest brother, my baby brother on my mom's side, is in college, and he is studying abroad in Italy. And so they're going first to see him, and then they're continuing their trip, and they're going down to the Amalfi Coast. So they'll be gone for about 2 weeks. And so they wanted to see Lila one more time before they left. So they came and picked her up and are going to dinner with her and my brother. I didn't want to be rushed back. I could have maybe gone, and then it was with my call, I didn't want to be rushed. So instead, I have like an hour to myself, and I think where I'm going to spend it is tackling the basement. We have one more major house project that needs to get done before baby boy gets here. And it's finishing this part of the basement. So let's go down. Let me show it to you. Okay, so I talked about this in my goals video, but I thought I would show it to you. So this is the finished side of our basement, where it's basically just, this is like our family room. This is where we hang out. Over there is my podcast set up with my sister, and then the Peloton living room play area. Then we move into the unfinished part of the basement, which is a smidge embarrassing to show, but we're getting there. So our house is a 3-bedroom house. And since we've moved in, in January, Sam has been using the third bedroom for his office. Well, now we need that third bedroom for a tiny baby. So this was always the plan. Like ever since we got this house, like this was the plan. So we are going to finish out this whole area and we're going to turn this half over here into Sam's office. And then over here, the cat litter is like right there on the ground. I don't want you to have to look at that. The laundry is getting moved to this corner. And then this is all getting finished. So new floors, walls, ceiling, the whole 9 yards of it getting finished. The laundry is getting moved over here. And then Sam's office will be over here. And then there will be some space like in between here for storage. And they're starting this project on Monday. So this is like the final before in a vlog. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. And so we have to finish getting all of our stuff out by Monday, and I'm going out of town this weekend. So really it has to get done like by tomorrow. I thought I was making a lot of progress. And now that I am thinking about that out loud, I'm like, holy guacamole. Now, Lila and I don't really have any plans tomorrow. We have ballet in the morning and then we don't really have any plans. So in theory, her and I can, that's basically what we're gonna have to do tomorrow is whatever I don't get finished right now. And this is, this pile and then the stuff that's on the shelves. The stuff that's over here, these things need to go somewhere else. That's obviously trash. And these bags need to go upstairs. And then over here, it's like, this is all house related stuff. And frankly, I'm trying to go through this like thoughtfully, right? And organize stuff nicely. And so right now I have kind of, we had another incident here. We had to rip out some wall. So we have this whole storage space. And so stuff that I know we aren't going to need, I'm putting in there, but I'm also trying to like go through it and like clean through stuff. And then I have two piles over here. This is travel stuff because they are likely going to be done before Thanksgiving, but maybe not before I need to start packing for Thanksgiving. So I wanted the travel stuff easy to access. And then this is like stuff that we're going to use for the Halloween party. So I have those piles going on out here. And so I'm trying to be like thoughtful about this while I go through stuff and really not just trying to like willy-nilly throw stuff out into the other part of the basement to make space. But like if that's what has to end up happening, that's what has to end up happening. So that said, I am going to pop in some headphones. I think I'm just going to listen to music, truthfully. Hi, kitty. So that I just think like some pump up music might be a little bit more motivating than like a podcast or an audiobook or something. And I still haven't picked an audiobook a la our conversation this morning. So let's see how much of this I can tackle before the call. Okay. The good news, I made a lot of progress. That's the pile that's left. There's a couple things that I just like moved from in here out there that need to go upstairs, the trash, and then 2 boxes that need to get carried upstairs. Otherwise, I have this pile left over here in this corner, which I feel like Lila and I can easily tackle tomorrow. And then over here, I need to figure out like where to kind of move this stuff. I was kind of waiting to put this stuff into the storage space, like after boxes, you know what I mean? Like once we've got all the boxes in here, and then I can throw stuff in there and see how much space we have left and how much we'll just have to seep out into the space until it's done. Hopefully it won't take too long. Here's the bad news. This is being filmed on my phone because my camera is not working. I've just been so frustrated with cameras for the last however many years. It has been ever since I had my very first vlogging camera, which was the best. And ever since then, I feel like it's just been downhill and it's just been a mess. So the good news, that's like, we're just doing like what does my dad call it? Like a compliment sandwich. The good news, made progress. The bad news, broken camera. The good news, Amazon's currently having like a big sale for something. I don't know if there's any purpose of the sale, except that a gazillion, it feels like every influencer in the world is posting about it. And I bought a couple of things that I had like saved in my like you buy later section or whatever it's called that I was hoping would go on sale for Black Friday. That went on sale that I grabbed. But anyway, now I'm going to go camera shopping. So hopefully I can find something that's pretty reasonable. I feel like at this point, like I don't need something complicated. And I know my phone is decent quality. Well, let me take that back. My phone is good quality. I've mentioned this before. The audio on the phone is not as good. I think having my headphone in and having that be the mic, I'm hoping is a little bit better audio wise. But then getting it from my phone to the computer and to my editor is a pain. And like, it's not feasible during Vlogmas at all. And then also regular photos I take on my phone, like it's just not feasible. I need a camera for that. So, and even vlogging regularly every week, I need a camera. I don't want to do it on my phone. I know a lot of vloggers do it on their phones. It's not going to be me. So I have a couple minutes. I'm going to take some of these loads upstairs and then get set up for the call. And if I have any time to camera shot before the call, I will do that. Otherwise, I will do it after the call. I'm just so annoyed with technology. Good morning. Happy Thursday. Y'all, there's a lot of things. Like, I really want to be the kind of person that avoids Amazon, especially Amazon Prime. But man, is it convenient. Like, literally yesterday, at whatever time in the evening, my camera stopped working. I ordered a new one. We already ate. And it's already here. It's Thursday morning and it's already here. Now, we are about to walk out the door for ballet. So I'm not going to get to set this up right now. But I'm hoping to get it. I was thinking about the fact that my sister and I are supposed to record a podcast tonight. Now, the thing is, I went inexpensive with this camera. Like, there was no in between. It seemed like it was either like this inexpensive camera, and I mean, it's still not zero. Like, it's still an expensive purchase, but in comparison to the other camera prices that were like 10 times the price, and there was like nothing in between. It was so bizarre. So I went inexpensive, and we're gonna see how it goes. Like, yes, even if it doesn't, like, if it breaks, I'd have to buy 10 of these to make up for, again, at least when I was looking at like the next least expensive option, which was just cuckoo to me. So what I do think this is also going to have to entail, though, I think today I need to figure out the mics for the pod. We've just been using the camera mic. I think when we used the other nice camera, it had a really nice mic that picked us up well. I'm not sure this will be the same case for the podcast when we're so far away from the camera. So I think I'm going to try, when Lila goes down for a nap, my 2 tasks are going to be pack for my trip this weekend and figure out the podcast mics. Oh, yeah. Come here, Panna. You want to try out our new camera? No? Okay, mommy, do it. All right, this is gonna take some getting used to. The camera, like, the lens is not centered on the camera, which is fine. So, like, to keep me centered on the screen is gonna take some getting used to. Also, I am sure the settings are kind of a mess right now. All I did was literally turn it on. I haven't read the manual at all. So it looks a little yellowy right now. Again, I'm sure there's some settings that I can fix, but this is super interesting. It's really lightweight, which I love. Like, I feel like that the other camera I was using before this, I'm sure was like beautiful from a quality standpoint, but was so heavy. So I don't know. Well, it'll take some getting used to. So we just got home. We went to ballet, and then we went and got a snack. Yeah, did we go get a bagel? And then we went to the dollar store where I grabbed some stuff that I will show you once she is asleep. But I thought I would just turn the camera on and say hi. Our next project, don't look at me like that. We need to get down to the basement. You saw yesterday. I need to finish it today, basically. So that's where we're headed. Okay. Lila's down for a nap. I figured out how to brighten it up a little bit more, but I don't know that it really got rid of the yellow. I haven't totally been able to figure that out. And because it's not like a mainstream camera, Googling and like trying to find a YouTube video that gives me instructions is really tough. But regardless, I spent 15 minutes playing with it, and that is more than enough time because I have a million other things I need to get done during her nap. So we're just gonna have to do our best. I'm still like in shock at how light it feels in my hand, and you know what, it works, and I'm able to. I did upload the earlier clip to my computer and compared it, and quality wise, it looks pretty decent compared like from a video wise, and I don't even have it in the highest quality. Like, it could record in 4K. 4K is just, the files end up being ginormous, and I don't feel like that's necessary for YouTube. But I did like compare it to the other one, and the speaker is definitely not as high of a quality. It still sounds fine, but it is quieter than the other speaker. So anyways, let me quickly show you what we got at the Dollar Tree. Then I'm going to pack. I'm going to check that off. And then I'm going to go down and mess with the podcast mics. All right. It's really yellow. I apologize for that. I hopefully will get that. Well, see, that just made it better. Whatever, it like focused on there. I do have a lot of the settings right now in auto.
which I typically, like, that typically is what's best for vlogging, because then I'm not messing with the settings all the time. Anyway, okay, one of the things I know I needed at the Dollar Tree was a gift bag for, I'm going to a baby shower, not this weekend, that's not what I'm packing for. I'm actually traveling 2 weekends in a row. This weekend I'm going to a football game with my dad. Next weekend I'm going to see some babies and go to a baby shower. And all of my baby bags that we had were all very, very girly. And the baby shower we're going to was for a boy. So I grabbed this gift bag. And then what I really wanted to get was a bunch of inexpensive coloring books and then some more crayons. So, hi, Charlie. Lila has been super... Okay, I guess this clip is just going to be Charlie now. Lila has been super, super into coloring lately. And what I've been doing so far is just either giving her plain white printer paper or printing off like coloring sheets just that I found online of like characters that she likes. And like that works, but she has been going through them pretty quickly. And so I wanted to grab some coloring books, both for home and for the diaper bag, because coloring books is our new go-to at restaurants. So I got two, like the ones that were branded, right, that said Disney, and they were all the same price, all of these. You can see the Disney ones are thinner. It's like half the thickness of the generic ones. But I thought the Disney ones, like the brand ones and thinner would be, Charlie, would be better for the diaper bag anyway. So I got two different ones, and then I got two kind of generic ones to have at home, and then I stocked up on some crayons. And I also grabbed this little white notepad for the diaper bag. Like instead of taking just printer paper, if she does just want to color, sometimes she asks other people to draw her stuff. So I thought I would throw that in there. And then I also grabbed these. She has been really into playing with my sticky notes, and I use sticky notes for, sorry, the coloring is like really distracting me. I use sticky notes for my Kanban board, and so I have to buy the Post-it note brand because otherwise they will not stay on there. And so when she like comes and takes my sticky notes and then just all she does is like take them apart, and it's really cute and it entertains her for a while. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're so expensive. So I got Dollar Tree sticky notes, Charlie, so that she can play with them all she wants. And I'm not gonna die as much inside. So I did just realize if I turn the flash on, I feel like it makes it look a lot better. It may look a little bit more like artificial, but it definitely doesn't look as yellow. Let me turn it around. Oh, it's bright in my face, but I definitely think that helps a little bit with the yellowing. Sorry, I still can't figure out how to make myself centered because the lens isn't centered. Okay, time to pack. Okay, I'm basically packed. I have a load of laundry that I need to do that I was going to do yesterday that didn't happen yesterday. That will help me finish packing. I just realized like I can't really finish until I do that load of laundry. So, like I mentioned, I'm going to a football game this weekend with my dad. So I have a dress for dinner tomorrow night. That's that one with a sweater. It's a sweater. Then I have a dress for dinner Saturday night. It's a 2:30 game. And so we sometimes don't make it back out to dinner. Sometimes by the time the game is over, we just like eat dinner at the state fair and then go back and veg and watch football at the hotel. Hi, Charlie. But typically when it's an 11 a.m. game, we do typically go back to the hotel, freshen up, and go to dinner somewhere. I don't know, but I packed an extra dress just in case. This is like comfy clothes when I'm getting ready at the hotel, pajamas, and then this is the shirt for the game. I showed that in a vlog a couple of weeks ago, so I still need to pack my skirt that I showed the maternity skirt that I got for Disney. That's what I'm going to wear on the bottom. And then, oh, my cowboy shirt is also dirty. I'm going to wear that home on the plane. And then this is my shirt for the plane, but I also need a pair of pants, which are also, I want to get washed. So I packed as much as I could until I get everything washed. And then over here, I just I'm going to freshen up my makeup before we have dinner plans tonight. Charlie's trying to like eat the camera. Okay. And then I'll throw my makeup in here, my toiletries, my clear bag for the game. I'm going to wear my sneakers on the plane that I'm going to wear to the game. So that's easy. And then I just need to throw a pair of sandals in here. So that really, like, it looks pretty empty. Well, first off, I feel like a giant suitcase. I mean, it's a carry-on size, but like for literally 48 hours where I know exactly what I need, it's pretty straightforward to pack. But what do you think, Kitty? The other setting I really need to figure out on this camera is every time I turn it on, it's automatically in camera mode. And so I have to I feel like every time I've turned it on, I've taken a picture first before I realize it's not in video mode, and I would like it to just automatically be in video mode. But anyways, before I start the washer, I thought I would quickly show you the progress on the basement. We basically are done down here. So There's a couple of things that I I don't have a good space for, and so it's just gonna have to be in Lila's play space. But I'm gonna give Lila and Sam the weekend to not have to worry about it, and I'll move it out Sunday night, like after Lila goes to bed, and then we'll just have to deal with it until they're done. So that is one of those things. These are the rugs we brought from our old house, which I don't know, I guess we thought we might need them, but they're gonna get rid of them for us. Same thing with this shelving unit. These boxes need to go upstairs, and I just need to find the energy to carry them upstairs. These are my December daily scrapbooking items, and that is the next step of my goals this month, is to get those organized. Sorry, I like the hiccups. So those need to get carried upstairs. This is an empty box of stuff that I like cleaned out that I'm going to use for, if you watched last week's vlog when I started going through baby clothes, I made more progress on that this week, and it is the bag of stuff that I'm saving for like a future niece is getting large. So I'm going to transfer that into this box. And then over here, same thing. This is the other thing that's just going to live here through the weekend. And then on Sunday night, I'll move it out into the play space. Because we are out of space. This is all packed. And there's a little space over here. That basket of stuff to go upstairs. There's a little space over here, but then Allie and I wouldn't be able to record the podcast. I still am going to have to move some of that stuff, so it's not in the shop. But for now, Sam uses the Peloton, so I say that like right now I'm not using the Peloton. So like this pile could scooch back when Allie and I are recording, and then scooch over when Sam needs the Peloton, is basically just how we're gonna have to function for a couple of weeks. But all in all, really happy with the progress that I made. I feel good like going out of town this weekend and knowing that they're starting on Monday. Wow, this clip is really yellow. I mean, it doesn't help that I have like bright brown boxes behind me. Okay, I got the mics fixed. Yay for that. Yay for the podcast. And because we're recording tonight. But before that, after Lila's nap, well, not right after, we'll have a little bit of wiggle room time in between there where her and I can just play. And then we are headed to an early dinner. So I know I've talked about this before. My husband is a certified financial planner, and he has clients like in all kinds of industries that do all kinds of things. But he does have a good number of clients in the Broadway industry, because that is where he started his career. He was originally, when I met him, he was an assistant to a Broadway producer. I think Devil Wears Prada, but Broadway producer instead of magazine editor. And so a lot of his clients come from his original connections to the Broadway industry, which is very cool. And sometimes it's like really cool, which is not like he technically can't share some of his like really cool clients, which was like such a bummer sometimes, because I'm like, but that's like so cool. But he does have a client in the Lion King tour that's currently touring, and it is not part of our Broadway package. We are Broadway and Chicago subscribers, but that is not part of our package. And so he decided that he wanted to go support. He actually has, I think he has a client in the cast and then a client in the pit, I think, or maybe a different supporting, like not cast, but something else on the tour. I don't know. Anyways, he wanted to go support his clients. So he got a ticket to the show tonight. And he asked one of his clients if he wanted to grab like dinner before or drink after. And this particular client is not only on this Lion King tour, but brought his wife and a 1-year-old on this tour as well, which is like, they're on tour with him, which is amazing. And so he was like, let's do dinner before. And like, if your wife and daughter, you want to join too, like come, like, let's go. So we are going to dinner with them before the show, which I'm really pumped about. Like, I can't wait to hear about what it's like to have like a 1-year-old on a Broadway tour. So that is what we're doing. So we will head downtown. We're doing dinner near the theater, so it's convenient for them. So we are going to head downtown, do dinner with them, and then Lila and I will just head home for bedtime while Sam goes to the show. And then my sister is going to come over so we can record. Then I need to get to bed because I leave tomorrow. Not until like the middle of the day though. But I think I'm going to go ahead and close this vlog here, so I'm not fighting with the camera the rest of the day. I have 45 minutes left in Lila's nap. I'm going to carry these boxes that I showed you upstairs, and then I'm probably just going to chill for a little bit, rest for a bit. So that is going to be it. If you made all the way to the end of this vlog, comment with a camera emoji, because we literally, this vlog was on 3 different devices. My first camera, my phone, and then this camera. None of them are, I mean, the first camera doesn't work anymore. It is possible, I guess I could take it somewhere and they could maybe fix it, but like, I also don't have the capacity to do that right now. I don't know where that would be in the city. Do you want to say bye, Kitty? And then, again, my phone has its pros, but has its cons. This camera has its pros. Getting the clips onto my computer, so easy, so smooth. The quality is obviously not not near as good. So TBD on that. Thanks for sticking with me, y'all. I'll see you next week.
Say what that was weird. Or that's not what I meant to say. But other than that, why did that sound weird? Words, Laken.